This letter is to address all those biased Indian medias that have no manners and no work ethics. We Nepalese are very tolerant and patient. However, it is intolerable to see how some of the ignorance in the Indian media are spreading propaganda about Nepal and disrespecting our nation. No matter how mad we are, we can never go as low as you have gone. Medias are at the least expected to be fair, honest, unbiased, and respectful. None of these qualities have been seen and expected from you. Yet, there are a few things that I want to highlight based on your senseless propaganda. First of all, stop self-claiming yourself as the big brother of Nepal, because we do not believe in any disrespectful relationship that's made for the namesake. So at first, go and learn how to respect our country Nepal and its sovereignty. Then we might think about it. Number 2, stop saying, "How dare Nepal speak against you?" Now we ask you, how dare you even ask us that question? How dare you speak disrespectfully about our country, our PM, and how dare you attempt to hurt the dignity of our country? So now, a piece of advice to you, don't go that very low where you forget humanity and where you start humiliating somebody else's mother. So don't dare mess with our mother Nepal. Number 3, it's true, geographically and economically, our country is smaller than yours. On top of that, we are a landlocked country. So of course, we have to depend on some other countries for various things. However, let me say this very loud and clear. We get things from you, but we pay for them. We do not take it for free. And just remember, that's how we are helping your economy too. And if you talk about aid and donation, don't you know that your country also gets it from other different countries? And if you say no, just have a look. Everyone helps one another in need. It's just that some helps with hidden agenda to humiliate the receiver in the future, as you are doing. Number 4, we are very grateful to all the countries that have helped us, including yours. However, because of the distrustful and disgraceful attitude that Indian media is showing towards our country, you will never let us forget your wrongdoings towards us. Let me remind you some of the latest ones. You imposed unofficial blockade in 2015 when our country was hardest hit with earthquake. Nepal and Nepalese had to suffer a lot. Does a so-called brother do that to a younger one who is already suffering, who is already in trauma? Would you really do that to someone who you call your brother, your friend? Number 2, you included Kalapani in your map despite being under Nepal's territory based on the Sugauli Treaty. It was still considered a disputed territory because your country was also claiming it. Now, all of a sudden, we got a surprise that Kalapani was included in your map. So who started the map game here? When the territory was disputed, did you have the right to make it yours? Or did it need talks and negotiations? So when you start, it's all right. But when you fight back, it's all wrong? Does that even make any sense? In the first place, do you even know or do you like to know why Nepal published its new map? This is because Nepal was forced to do so. Oh yes, not by China though, but you. Since many decades, Nepal has been trying to negotiate with India. And even recently in November, after you published your new map, Nepal tried multiple times for bilateral talks. But again, Indian government didn't respond. So what option was left for Nepal? Either to tolerate or to fight back. And we chose the latter. Can't small countries have voice? Or are you trying to say or prove that you are a bully? Number 3. And now, during this very pandemic, you again misused the trust. Since there is free movement between Nepal and India, there are various routes where both the people travel freely. So you took this very advantage and tried to encroach our territory by making a road there. And you are expecting that very kind, gentle and peace-loving Nepal and Nepalese want to react. And when your expectation reversed, when we started reacting and fighting for the sovereignty and dignity of our country, you started defaming, humiliating and insulting our country. Does that make you wise or nauseously biased and mannerless media? Well, in the initial days, we were upset with what had happened. We were upset by the breach of trust from Indian government, but now we are getting extremely annoyed with your disrespectful and disgraceful attitude and the propaganda that you are spreading against our country. It's ridiculous how far you have gone to make such senseless, baseless, and false accusations. At the end, I just want to say that, like you love your motherland, we also love our motherland very dearly. Love and patriotism do not depend on how big or small the country is, nor it depends on how rich or poor the motherland is. So let me tell this once again, very loud and clear. Don't you dare to try and hurt the dignity of our mother. She is small, but equally dignified, like rest of the mothers in the world. So let the respective governments have the talks and resolve the issue peacefully. And don't you dare spread hatred against Nepalese and Indian citizens. I bet you do not want to lose your beautiful and peace-loving friend Nepal, like you possibly have lost many others. And now, I would like to urge my Nepali friends, let's not share any posts or videos that such biased medias are creating to defame and humiliate our country. Let's not help them by spreading their dirt in our country via our social media posts. Thank you. Jai Desh, Jai Nepal.